Hi, it's great to be back with you. My name's Martin, and I'm doing a few videos just to explain some of the things that God is speaking to us here at Woodside. And we wanted to do this and communicate this well to everyone. So some of the things we've talked about that I'll be sharing in these videos, we've done in some smaller context, but I really wanted everyone to hear all that God is doing. We really feel that God is leading us with real clarity at the moment, and so we want everyone to understand those things, and of course to feel we want to be a part of this. And so this is the next one of those. So what I'd like to talk about now is something to do with how God is leading us in being a church that multiplies. We know that God is leading us to multiply into the west of our town, into the west of Bedford, and we are gearing up for that. As I mentioned to you in the previous video, we are planning for a January launch in 2019, so we're excited about that. But recently, as we gathered as a team, we talked together about what are our dreams for Woodside? Where would we, or another way we asked the question, where would we love to be in 3 years' time? What do we feel God is going to be leading us in? And one of the themes that came out was that we felt that being called to multiply wasn't just about the west of the town, and the sense that this was something far more broader that God had for us, and that we should, and God would have us consider what it means to be a multiplying church as an ongoing thing. And within that discussion, myself and David Devenish, one of the elders, shared how we've been involved in church planting, in trying to reach new locations. David, as many of you will know, has been very involved in that in different ways across the world even. I've been involved in many church plants, and in fact prior to coming to Woodside, I was either involved or initiated church plants, numbers of church plants actually. And so that sense of multiplication has always been in me, and it's interesting how God is beginning to join what has been part of my story up until coming to Woodside, and now speaking to Woodside, and sort of bring those things together, which is really exciting. And one of the things that David and I talked about with the rest of the team is an area to the north of us, an area around Rushden, Higham Ferries, Wellingborough, up that part of East Northamptonshire. And we both shared with the team how we have both attempted and started church plants and meetings and congregations in that area. I think together we've done it 3 times, and sadly, although we've seen some breakthrough at times, those haven't sustained, and we haven't seen a long-lasting fruit. And so now there's no Catalyst or New Frontiers Church meeting in that area. And as we talked as a team, it was clear with David and myself that there's something that God's put in there that is still longing to see a congregation, a meeting, a church, something started and something lasting and having a lasting effect in that area. And so what it led us to was a sense that we should consider how could we seek God and pursue the idea of multiplying into the Rushden, Wellingborough, Higham Ferries area. And where that led us is to a conversation with someone that I've mentioned to you before, a man called Adrian Horner. Because Adrian is based in Kettering, which is just further on from Rushden, Wellingborough. And Rushden, Wellingborough is almost in between Bedford and Kettering. And I spoke to Adrian, and he has always had a heart for that part of the country. I've actually worked with him at different times with the previous church that was based there in Rushden. And a number of conversations have resulted in that Adrian is really excited to partner with us to see if we can break some ground in that area. And so I mentioned in the last video that Adrian's going to be joining our team for the next 12 months, a day a week, and a lot of his time, or half of his time, is going to be invested in helping us in the area of the Spirit and in the prophetic and other gifts of the Spirit. We really want to strengthen that. But actually, alongside that, we've asked Adrian if he can help us, and that we'd work with him to see if we can break some ground in the Rushden Wellingborough area, to see if actually what is still very much in my heart, I know in David's heart and others too, just maybe God does have something that he wants to birth there. The truth is we have very little there. We don't have a small group that we already want to gather. Even those who were involved before, I think, have now gone to other places or other churches, and so this is quite early on in the process, I guess. But we just felt God was saying we got to take multiplication seriously and believe for something that at the moment we cannot see. And of course, faith is like that. It's believing in something that you cannot see. And at the moment we cannot see it, but we believe God is saying, go again, go again. And it reminds me of when Jesus sent the 72 in twos. You may remember that story from the Gospels. And they went to towns and villages where he was going to go. And I feel we're at that place that Jesus has got plans. He's got people in Rushden and Hindferrs and Wellingborough that he is going to reach. But actually, we have a role to break some ground as part of that process. And maybe even look for a man of peace or a woman of peace, or a home that we can connect with and begin to meet in, and maybe to gather a few to pray. And that's probably what we're asking God for at the moment. Is there a couple, is there a person that we can begin to connect with? And so there's not a lot of detail, but there's a sense of God saying, go again, go again. So what I wanted to share is that that's exactly what we're going to do. So Adrian's going to start on the team with us for 12 months, starting in September, for a day a week. And half of his time is going to be pursuing that. And half of his time is going to be helping us to strengthen the Spirit. And probably those areas will blur at different times as an emphasis one way or the other begins to evolve. But we really feel God has spoken to us about multiplication. And so that's exactly what we're going to do. Okay, that's it for this one. This is a lot shorter than the first one, and we hope to be back with you very soon. Thank you very much.